wrestling fans? My name is Brian Crazy. You're watching my brand, That From Brand of Wrestling and Entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web. Since 2010, providing you with the wrestling news, reviews, rumors, insights that you're grown accustomed to. And I am back on Fight Nation Wrestling with my review and results for the 2013 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. The 2013 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view took place February 17th from the New Orleans Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana. There were 7 matches booked on the card. We got an 8th impromptu added match, and we'll jump right into the show. It started off at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube.com and on WWE.com with the Elimination Chamber 2013 pre-show, and it featured a tag team contest, Brodus Clay and Lord Tensai squaring off against the Rhodes Scholars, Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes. Now, this was a great match. Never really would have expected Clay and Tensai really to work so well together. I mean, these two guys are funny. They complement each other nicely. I really felt like they kind of dropped the ball on Lord Tensai. I really liked the character when he came back. I really felt like he should have been some sort of bodyguard to John Laurinaitis, as John Laurinaitis made his name as a wrestler over in Japan as Johnny Ace. And there could have been some sort of tie-in with, Tensai being a disciple of the Japanese culture. I mean, this guy was brutal when he first came in. Kind of felt like they dropped the ball on him. But I don't know. I kind of like this team. I like where this could potentially go. And I guess I'll have to see how it plays out over the next few weeks. I'm a huge fan of the Rhodes Scholars, if you guys have followed my videos over the last few years. And it was a decent contest. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Clay and Tensai picked up the win. In the second match of the night, World's Heavyweight title was on the line. The defending World's Heavyweight champion, Alberto Del Rio, squared off against the Big Show. Going into this match, I really wanted to see a clean finish. I really wanted to see Del Rio pick up the win over the Big Show. I figured this would be the final encounter between these two superstars, and it did not disappoint. This was a great contest, a lot of physical action, a lot of back-and-forth action, and Del Rio ended up making the Big Show tap out. This is after he hit him with the enziguri multiple times, locked in the cross armbar multiple times, and he eventually picked up the win. In the third match of the night, the United States Championship was on the line. Antonio Cesaro defended his title against The Miz. I like both of these superstars. The Miz has really won me over with his work ethic. This guy really wants to learn this business. He really wants to get better at what he does. He really wants to perfect his craft. And Antonio Cesaro, incredible athlete, followed him since his ROH days when he was known as Claudio Castagnoli. Just a great superstar. This was a great match. I wanted Cesaro to pick up the win, and he did retain the title via disqualification. As you guys know, the title does not change hands via disqualification or countout. There was a stipulation added to the final match of the night where that could have happened, but no such stipulation was added to this match. In the fourth match of the night, it was the Elimination Chamber that determined the #1 contender for the World's Heavyweight title. Now, going into this pay-per-view, I didn't know if we were going to get one chamber match or two chamber matches. It was rumored that the big 6-man tag match might have happened inside the chamber. That did not happen, but it could be a positive or it could be a negative. I mean, the positive is you have one chamber match, and it feels special. That you'll really remember that match and what happened at that match. Like Hell in a Cell last year, I remember that the WWE Championship was on the line. That's when Ryback was screwed by Brad Maddox. The previous year, I don't really remember the Hell in a Cell matches that well. I mean, if you gave me a minute, I could remember who was in them and more than likely who won. But what I'm saying is, with just one match, it makes it a little bit more memorable. That's the positive. The negative is you have a pay-per-view, you're expecting multiple chamber matches, and you only get one, so it could be disappointing for some of the fans out there. The chamber involved Jack Swagger, Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Kane, Mark Henry, and Randy Orton. Jack Swagger was successful. He picked up the win in this match. Out of nowhere, gets the roll-up, picks up the win, and he is now the #1 contender. As it stands, he will go on to WrestleMania 29 to square off against the World's Heavyweight Champion, Alberto Del Rio. I think this could be a really interesting match, and I think this could be really, really interesting. Going into this match, I either thought Swagger, Jericho, or Mark Henry was going to pick up the win. My fourth choice would have been Randy Orton, but in my mind, to have Randy Orton pick up the win in this match, we would have needed to see a heel turn in the next few weeks. They would have really needed to pull the trigger on that. Swagger did pick up the win. He has the perfect gimmick. I love how they repackaged him, and I'm really curious where this is going to go. The fifth match of the night. Who you would have thought is the underdogs actually picked up the win in this contest. The Shield, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins were successful. They picked up the win over Ryback, John Cena, and Sheamus. Ryback ended up taking the fall in this match. I noted that with JC Styles. We did a full review over on F and True Wrestling. Please check it out and drop your comments on that video. It's about 25 minutes in length. Great video. You know, in my opinion, it's a great video. But you guys can go over there and check it out and let me know what you think. The Shield was successful. They did pick up the win in this match, and I really think this was the way to go. Let these guys pick up the win. Let these guys look strong, but unfortunately, yet again, like I said, Ryback took the fall in this match, and they're not doing any favors for Ryback. I mean, Ryback's stock continues to drop and continues to drop and continues to drop. In the sixth match of the night, the Divas title was on the line. Caitlyn defended against Tamina Snuka. I really like what Tamina's done since she's come back. She really has had this fire lit under her. She's had this mean streak. And I really like what they've done with Caitlyn. They're building a new star. And I think keeping the title on her tonight was a good idea. I mean, they're proving that they believe in Caitlyn. They're trying to build a new star, like I previously mentioned. And not too much else to report there. Then we get an impromptu match involving Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston. I would really like to see Christian return. The rumors are he has been medically cleared. Hopefully Christian will show up on TV within the next week or two, or there's a possibility he may not return to WWE TV until post-WrestleMania 29. I am one of Christian's peeps, and I want to see him back on my television. Captain Charisma is one of my favorite superstars, and I can't wait to see what he potentially could bring to the table once he makes his return. Like I said, really would have liked to see Christian. Kofi versus Dolph, quick little filler match. And this ended up breaking down. This ended up turning into a beating on Kofi Kingston. Big E ended up hitting his huge finishing maneuver. And like JC Styles said, if you just see Big E from what you've seen on WWE TV, you haven't seen the whole picture. If you watch NXT like me and JC Styles do, and you see the future WWE superstars still learning the craft, still perfecting their craft, still growing, still learning. I mean, it's an incredible show to watch. And if you don't, please check it out. And there's just so much more to Big E. Then we go into the final match of the night, WWE Championship match. The stipulation is if The Rock is disqualified or counted out, he will lose the title. CM Punk keeps trying to make The Rock angry throughout this match. He keeps spitting at him. He keeps messing with him. The Rock keeps losing his cool. It almost comes so close The Rock is going to lose the title. Now, I really didn't think this added stipulation was going to do too much, but it really added this extra dynamic to the story. CM Punk really sold that evil heel tonight. I mean, lately he's just seemed kind of whiny and kind of like a crybaby. Now, some people, I made a little jokes about CM Punk saying cookie puss and saying Twinkie tits. Now, you guys don't even know. If you're going to try to poke at me for that, I've been a fan of wrestling my whole life. I'm a huge fan of Paul Heyman. I was a huge fan of Paul Heyman's promotion, ECW. I was a huge fan of Paul Heyman back in the WCW days when he was Paulie Dangerously, and he led his Dangerous Alliance, some of the best superstars ever assembled in the history of professional wrestling. I'm a huge fan of CM Punk. I've been a fan of CM Punk so long. So I poke a little joke. It's my channel. It's my show. If I want to poke a little joke, that's my prerogative. It is the effing brand, and if you don't like it, if you don't effing like me, there's the effing door. God, you got me worked up now. You see that? I didn't break a sweat, though. No, I didn't. So we're all good. But The Rock ended up picking up the win over CM Punk. He ended up overcoming CM Punk, just pushing all of his buttons. The Rock is still the WWE Champion, and like I predicted all the way back in last July, that we would see The Rock versus John Cena at WrestleMania 29. It is now set in stone. Rock versus John Cena at the biggest pay-per-view of the year, their second confrontation. What will happen this time? It has been talked about. The news on the internet is that The Rock will be dropping the title sometime in April. There is no second pay-per-view in April this year. The Extreme Rules pay-per-view won't take place into the middle of July. The middle of May. Wow, that would be a pretty big gap. 5-6 weeks away. So it looks like all the stars, all the signs, all the cards, whatever you want to say, are pointing that John Cena is going to probably end up defeating The Rock at WrestleMania 29. Now, I enjoyed tonight's pay-per-view. I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know your guys' opinions, and I want you to drop it below. Please also check out my full review alongside my broadcast colleague JC Styles over on F and True Wrestling, and for the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web. My name is Brian Crazy. I'll catch you later.